Good evening, all, and thank you very much for tuning into All India Runners Motivation, a channel which brings out stories of athletes from our country. Today's guest has got a very unique record. It gives me great pride and privilege to introduce today's guest. His unique record is that he won two medals at the inaugural Asian Games 1951 and then went on to win a gold medal in 1956 Olympics as a hockey player. So that is a very unique record. I don't think anyone in India has got this record. It gives me great pride and privilege to welcome our guest, Mr. Amit Singh Bakshi. Thank you very much for coming, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
How are you, sir?
My privilege to be interviewed.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me the honor, sir.
Thank you.
So,
Good.
when I was trying to research on you, about your life, I could not find much about in the social media or in the web pages. So I just wanted you to just give the audience a brief introduction about your childhood, and because you were born in the pre-independence era. So tell us a bit about your childhood and what all games were you playing at that time, sir?
Right. I would say the schooling and the college period extend from 1930 to 1945. Now, under the British rule, the most popular games were hockey, and next to that was football. Cricket was in the formative stage. So, in the schools, normally they went either migrated to hockey. Well, hockey had made some name already in 1928 onwards. So did I. But as nothing of note in the school days or in the college days also, for the simple reason that my education was in the city of Ludhiana in Punjab, government college, and before that Arya school. The center of education and sports was centered in Lahore, up center of Punjab, both for education purposes and for sports purposes. And the university teams normally comprise of 80% from Lahore and 20% from Khalsa College, Amritsar.
Okay.
So the other colleges, four or five colleges, government colleges spread in Punjab area, had hardly any chance to contribute anything. So I never figured into the university team of Punjab. But my athletic career started, I would say, in 1945. It so happened that Maharashtra or Bombay that time, Bombay Athletic Association was conducting a meet between the Indian athletes and the British and American forces stationed in Bombay or around Bombay. They didn't have a good 400-meter runner. So they approached Punjab University, and in Punjab University then sent a notice to my college that could I be spared to join. And so I went to Bombay for a novice of Punjab area, Mufassal area. Bombay was a dream town. I'd never seen sea. I hadn't seen big buildings or anything or like that. It was such a dream to come to me. When I ran all right, I must have done well over there. And from there onward, I came into the reckoning. But also in 1945, July, I had already joined the Indian Air Force for training as a pilot. So there was no opportunity thereafter for me to actively participate in any sports. Somewhere in 1946, there was a move to send a services team to New Zealand. And some selection took place, and I was sent during the training period for a selection, but that trip fizzled out. So my next foray into the athletics was training on my own, running on my own. There was no opportunity, I must emphasize, at that time for any coaching or any guidance whatsoever. You were on your own. You studied a book, if there was any. You consulted some friends and all to watch you running and to correct you if they find a fault or anything. And that is how the training went on.
Okay.
Now, and then we came to, I came to 1948 at that time when we had, after partition, J&K operations, and I had a serious accident during that period, and I was laid out for about a year or so.
Okay.
Uh, I was burned badly on my face and my ears and my arms, and it was difficult to get a treatment because plastic surgery was just not available at that time.
Okay.
Later on, some colonel had come after training from USA, and he did the plastic surgery on my hand, which I'm showing you here. Let me see if I can.
Yeah.
It can. This
Yes.
whole area was grafted from my thigh.
Okay.
Yeah, thigh.
Okay.
And so I continued when I had the opportunity thereafter, when I was fit, to start running on my own. And then we had in 1950, I think, some national athletic meet in which the four runners, which formed a quartet for the Asian Games,
Okay.
were placed 1, 3, 4. Actually, Govind Singh stole the march on me, and what was the other name? Other Singh.
So Govind Singh, Balwant Singh, and Karnan Singh.
Balwan
And Karnan.
and Kannan.
Yeah.
Kannan eventually became a doctor. And in that, naturally, actually, Govind beat us by a yard, and I beat Kulwant by a yard.
Okay.
But basically, it was that it was considered I was a better runner than them slightly.
Okay.
And we formed the team. In the 1951, then, uh, there was no training. Let me emphasize first and foremost, we were left on our own.
Okay.
I formed the team. I decided who should run first, second, third, fourth, and what is the strategy or tactics we should adopt against the Japanese. In the individual race, I was neck to neck with the Japanese in the last 30 meters.
Okay.
And there was a tremendous applause from the crowd. But I think he beat me to the tape, whether by hand or by chest, I don't know. There were no uh, photo edition then,
Yeah.
no cameras as such. And he was awarded the gold, and I got the silver. But in the relay, we had worked very well in our strategy, and I said, I'll run number 3. Kulwant will do the final. If I can give him a lead of about 10 meters, then there's no chance that he'll be beaten. With
Okay.
that lead, he can continue to hold the Japanese on the outside as much as possible, which means an advantage about 4 or 5 meters. And that is what worked out very well for us. I was able to give him about 10 meters lead
Okay.
in the final round.
Okay.
And that was our gold medal for the Asian Games. Why
Wonderful.
I
So
didn't pursue thereafter?
yeah.
It is because the service demand was contradictory to my time with the sports.
Yeah.
I was a pilot, a fighter pilot. Now there was demand. I had already been to J&K operations, so I could not be spared to pursue. There was a move after 1951 to send me to UK by the Subsys Sports Control Board for
Okay.
further training, but that also fell out. When that fell out, the option to me was to follow hockey.
So how did who encouraged you actually, during your school and college days for you to pursue athletics?
Athletics?
Yeah.
Athletics came about in the college days only, really.
Okay.
There was no opportunity in school, there were no competitions in the school as such.
Okay.
Uh, to be of worthwhile noting, normal schools were not highly placed in education as well as in sports. So my foray into the athletics started with the college career
College.
because in
Okay.
college there were better opportunity and there are groups formed and there were inter-group competitions that gave you the opportunity.
Okay. So when India when we gain independence, how was the feeling at that time, and where were you actually? On August
As I
15th.
said, on the independence, I was in J&K operations
Okay.
based in Jammu, and that is where I had the accident. My aircraft had an accident,
Okay.
and for 1 year I was literally into the moving one hospital to another to get the proper treatment.
Okay. Fine. At that time you said national camps were not conducted and you were training yourself. Any books you read at that time, or anybody,
Yes, there was one
inspired?
book published. Yes, there was a book published by some British author which I got hold of. And whatever I read over there, how you should be running a 400-meter training for 400 meters, I tried to follow. And I
Okay.
was lucky to have the facility, being in the Air Force. We had some courier services going to UK.
Okay.
And I made friends with some pilots who were going to ask me to get me starting blocks from there.
Okay.
And a
Okay.
sweatsuit from, I've forgotten the name of the firm, a very famous firm close to Oxford Circus.
Okay.
So with those aids, I trained myself.
How heavy were those starting blocks? I mean, unlike today's starting blocks, how heavy was those to carry it?
Uh, Not very heavy. They, as good as available at that time, particular time. Uh, we
Okay.
didn't have any facility whatsoever of equipment or training. Even in 1951, I must tell you, while we were participating, first, there was no coaching. Second,
Okay.
the administration was very poor.
Okay.
The officers were, I don't know, they were concerned about the participating athletes as such.
Okay. Okay. So,
Then,
so there was, you never had any facilities as such apart from the facilities what services offered you.
throughout, there was never any facility or any encouragement or any help.
So, how do you motivate yourself at that time then?
Yes, but then in 50, after 51, since there was an earlier selection for a New Zealand trip, hockey was at the back of my mind. So I said, in athletics, if I go, let me try hockey. And in 1951, I managed to get into the services team.
Okay.
And we played our first national in 1951
51.
in
Okay.
Madras, I think.
Okay.
Then in 53, I had the honor of captaining the services team in Bangalore, where we won the nationals by beating Punjab,
Okay.
famous Punjab team. 54, I was still captain of the services team, and we lost to Punjab in the final.
Okay.
55, I did not operate because of an injury. 56, I led the services team again uh, for national Jalandhar, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and we were the champions then also.
So
Now,
1951 inaugural Asian Games. Tell us a bit about that Asian Games, because how was the atmosphere? How was the opening ceremony? Did you meet Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru?
unique Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's famous epithet, play the game in the spirit of the game. That was his message to the Asian game.
Okay.
The other active person or in charge of everything else, I think De Mello, if I'm not mistaken. And another force for promoting sports in Punjab and otherwise was KL Sondi or Sondi, I don't know the initials, from Punjab. Very active participant and for furthering the cause of sports.
Okay.
There was a large crowd for 1951 games. For Delhiites, it was an experience in itself because we had just become independent, 1947, and within a short period, India had organized an Asian Games. So it was a memorable opportunity for us to perform.
Okay. So when you won those medals, how was the reaction by your colleagues and family?
Well, I was a bachelor. I
Okay.
was a bachelor. So elated, but at the same time, Raja Balinder Singh came to give me the silver. He says quietly to me, I wish you had won also because we won 100, 200, we would have won 400, 800 also. I
Okay.
don't know about 1500 at the moment, but and the star performer in Asian Games was Lavi Pinto, 100 and 200 meters, star from Bombay. I remember him very well. I would think he was the star of our athletic team.
Okay. Anybody else? How was Lavi Pinto? Because he held a unique record of winning both 100 and 200 meters till quite recently, 1970. Yanashekaran Ramaswamy, bro. I mean, was the guy who was the last person actually to win something similar to Lavi Pinto. Just tell us a bit about Lavi Pinto because very few people have seen him running. Please tell us about him, sir.
Well, I don't know. He was a Bombay man. I was serviceman. We didn't have the opportunity to meet. I didn't have the opportunity to go to Bombay. We only met him at the Asian Games. And with whatever little bit sports events took place, Lavi Pinto was unbeatable at that time. And if I'm not mistaken, his timing at that point was about 10.5.
Okay.
It could be. I could be a little wrong, but I think 10.5 was his best timing.
Okay. Were there any other sprinters who maybe did not get an opportunity, during your time? You felt maybe they could have also been, medal winners.
There's some of the medal winners were from the services also. I think Bombay had a good representation, and the services had the next best representation in the contingent, athletic contingent in the games. But as they say, memories fade. 1951 is a long way back.
Okay. Yeah.
What is this, 51? I was about 26 at that stage. So I have no vivid recollection of any events of that time.
Okay.
But
So,
I
sorry,
can give
you're
you
saying.
more on hockey thereafter.
Yeah, I'll be coming to that. If you
Yes.
can just tell the audience about your journey as a hockey player, and it's amazing that it's a unique record, and I still feel that nobody has spoken much about it. That winning in athletics, medals, and also winning a Olympic gold medal. Just tell us about your journey in hockey and about that 1956 Olympic Games.
Yes. I start you from 51. That is the first time I think we formed a services team to participate in the nationals. In 51, I think we lost in the quarterfinals. In 52, which was the Olympic year, I think we lost to Bengal in the semi-finals, if I'm not mistaken. And it's very vivid in my mind. We lost to them because our goalie, in exuberance in order to show himself out, with an easy ball coming, tried to hit it with his pad. It went to Pat Jensen of Bengal, who just put it into the goal and we lost.
Okay.
Then a selection was made for the probables for training for the Olympics. I was one of the members of these selected people, and then we were asked to train in Calcutta only. Here is my sad story begins at this stage. We trained hard. The coach was a Bengali gentleman. I don't recollect his name. He used to wear a dhoti only.
Okay.
Babu was to be the captain. Wizard with his stick. If you have not written about him, I think one of the rare dribbler. We trained hard, and I was told that all right, there's no other center half, and you'd better not miss any training sessions. But lo and behold, when the announcement was to be done for the final selection, that time Keshav Dutt appeared on the scene. Keshav Dutt was Mohan Bagan favorite. Now it was being held in Bengal. So I think Bengal had a lot of say in the partly in the selection and during the process of training also. Pankaj Gupta, I don't know whether you got his name, ever heard his name or not, was the president of the Football Association of Bengal, but he had a say in every matter in Bengal. For whatever reason, Keshav Dutt came on the last time, and in the announcement, he was included in the team without training, without having played nationals, and I was out.
Okay.
So it was, I was disheartened, definitely, and I thought, why should I be playing anymore? Good enough, I've got to follow a career. Already there was a little bit of a misunderstanding between my commanding officers and me that I was being called for sports and I should be doing my flying duties. But somehow or other, the service insisted that I should continue.
Okay.
I should continue. So in 53, as I mentioned, I captained the services team. Then I 54, I captained the services team. Then we came to 56 and we won the nationals. And the training was done at Military Academy, Dehradun.
Okay.
And here too, little politics again got in. I don't know whether I should take names, but there's always push and pull by the secretaries of the association of a particular state to get their chaps in some or other.
Okay.
See, like Madhya Pradesh fellow will say that I have got these three people in the team, at least one should be taken. And after all, what is the difference between one player and another at that level? 18, 20? 1920. There are some people outstanding, like Balbir was there, Udham Singh was there, Babu himself who captain. They are outstanding players. You couldn't touch them. But the rest of the people, when you have a selection between players and players, some push and pull always starts. At this time, in 1956, Josh Gonsalves of Bombay persuaded and managed to get Amir Kumar in. But Amir Kumar was not in his good form. And when they played a exhibition game in Bombay, the crowd booed him and they promptly asked me to join the team. That is how I went in 1956.
Okay.
Post 56, again, the service requirement came to the fore. There was a career ahead. Sports was not the career. Sports was pure interested. You're fond of sports, you played. And also, let me clear it that in those days, there was a distinction between amateur and a professional. You took even 1 rupee, you became a professional and you lost your amateur status. Times have changed a lot. Today, everybody is making a big buck out of sports. We played for the fun of it
Okay.
till that time.
Okay. So tell us a bit about that moment when you actually won the gold medal. When the team won the gold medal. How were the matches for hockey, and you played in some of the matches? Tell us about that also, sir.
Yes, well, we knew beforehand that Pakistan on one side and India on the other. Same style of hockey, same caliber. It was a matter of always touch and go. So we were lucky in a way that we had scored a goal and then they got a penalty bully, which was saved. And we beat Pakistan by 1-0.
Okay.
1-0. That was a remarkable achievement. I mean, after 1956, we started losing.
Okay. How did you feel that moment when you got the gold medal?
No, fantastic. I mean, I would think a culmination of my career, sports career at that time. 56, 57 again, I was sent to UK for training on the new aircraft that Air Force purchased. And I knew that I had to follow my career rather than any more sports.
Okay.
So I left, and then from that point onwards to some other duties as a staff college and the services. And I did foray again into hockey in 1962 when I was actually idle completely. I had left sports completely. The Air Force had an invitation from the Royal Air Force in UK to send a team, hockey team. So I was asked, can I be in shape to be selected and go? I said no, but I was persuaded, no, you do. So I trained a little bit on my own when I was posted in Secunderabad at that time.
Okay.
And I was called to Delhi and handed the team to me by the chief of the Air Force. Here is your team. Do you want any change? They had so much confidence in me.
Okay.
So I captained the team, and that's my last active game, 1962.
So did you have any chance to, when we talk about hockey, Dhyanchand's name comes, like a god of hockey for India. Did you have any chance of, just seeing him play, or, having a chat with him at some point of time?
No, not really. I had in my mind at one time that I wanted to be an umpire.
Okay.
Reason was this. During the play, I always found this short corner business. You came into the area and you put the ball in the legs of the opponent. You knew you'd have no scoring chance because you were in a position which you could not even raise your stake to hit the ball. You could only push the ball. If you raise your stick, the ball will be taken away in that time factor. That takes you 2 seconds or 3 seconds to raise your stick and hit. In the meantime, somebody might tackle. So all you did was put the ball into the legs of somebody and claim and raise your hand short corner,
Okay.
which gave
So
you a 50% probability of a goal.
okay.
Now these rules needed to be changed, and I was very keen that I should become an umpire and get into the committees and ask them to bring about certain changes. But
Okay.
somehow or other, the service requirements prevented me from following my ambition.
Okay.
So
So
therefore, after that, I've had no association, active association with any sports body.
okay. So you never wanted to come back to athletics also at that time.
No, too late. Athletics age group wise, no, I couldn't have. But I'm telling you, I saw Milkha run in 1954, I think, for the first time. That was in Pune. Southern Command was holding some meet, and I was posted there. So I saw the meet and I saw him running, and I suddenly realized that he had a much better potential. How he ran. The fact was that we used to gas in the last 30 meters or so. He had full steam up till the end.
Okay.
That last 30, 40 meters made a difference of nothing less than a difference of about 8 to 10 meters.
Okay.
In my regime, I think I did 400 meters in 50 seconds. Maybe I might have run in 49 point something at one time, but basically 50. From there to 46 or 46.5 by Milka was a remarkable achievement.
Okay.
He certainly was an icon.
Did you get a chance to see also Ivan Jacobs and Owen Pinto of any other 400-meter runners?
I must admit, since I was not actively engaged, did not have any touch with other sports people or even with the hockey people and everything.
Okay.
I followed a career in the service with the high demands, high
Yeah.
demands.
You never thought of coaching either.
No, no, no. I didn't have the opportunity of that.
Okay. So did you have a chance to watch the matches of the men's and the women's team this time for this Olympics?
No, I did not really, honestly. I couldn't follow very well. But a tremendous changes that have taken place. Hockey did go down depending on who's heading the organizations. At one time, Ashwini Kumar from police, thereafter another Sikh gentleman who took charge of the Indian hockey. I don't know the name, you will have in your records. But during his period, a number of police people got into the committees, provincial committees. But the hockey had gone down during that period.
Okay. If you see nowadays, I mean, as compared to your time when you were actually seeing hockey, also it was on turf. Even athletics was on cinder track, and now it is on synthetic. Thing. Do you think
Tremendous,
you would have done better if you had actually run on such tracks?
tremendous boost to the sports over a period last 20 years or so. There's been a tremendous boost and a lot of money spent. In our time, you couldn't think of a foreign trip. There was no foreign exchange available for sports.
Okay.
I mean, today you got teams up and down going abroad, participating in various tournaments and everything. In those times, where did the team ever take a trip abroad? Nothing. We never got the opportunity. Of course, I am positive that if we had better trainers, we would have done better, especially in athletics. After all, in athletics, we've never achieved anything of substance in the Olympics. The first time somebody came as a gold medal.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you actually get any chance to play? Have you ever played in a synthetic track, hockey at least?
In what respect?
On the synthetic track, did you get a chance to play at any point? On the current AstroTurf tracks,
No,
which is there.
never got
Never.
a chance. No.
Okay. So my question to you is that, I mean, the achievements when we speak about, I mean, I'm saying, okay, you're the only person to win Asian Games 2 medals, and also representing our country and winning an Olympic gold medal.
Yes.
I mean, if I look at it, why have there not been any awards been given to you?
Reason,
Any reasons which you can think of?
Services Sports Control Board not pushing, and the chiefs of the services not honoring their players. For them, professional duty is more important than sports.
Okay.
Along with me, in 1956, we were 5 out of the services team. There was Lakshman, there was Harepal, there was Hardayal, there was Bhola, there was myself. I don't think anybody got any recognition from the services side.
Okay. Because currently there is a provision by the government that you could apply for it, which is the Dhyan Chand Award, and your contemporary Mary D'Souza actually got that award a couple of years back. Have you tried that, if I may ask you?
No ambition to do that. I'm quite happy at this age. I'm on my 97th year, so quite happy to be to be left in peace.
I feel that it will be nice if you can get that award.
No. Thank you very much for the interview.
Yeah, I think this is my final question to you.
Yes.
Final question, I mean, is that any advice you can give to current crop of athletes, who want to excel in their field? What are the few things you can tell them about?
I think they've got the government support now. Plenty of money being spent on training. Look at this. People are being sent abroad for training and everything. I think as much as possible is being done in order for our athletes to achieve some medals in the future. Okay. And I wish them all the luck.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, sir. I really thank you for your time, for coming into my channel and talking to all about your life, your athletics as well as hockey. And it's been a great pleasure and honor for me to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, please be online. I'll just come back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Namaskar.